Hey, what is up YouTube? thyAshes here bringing you another video, and today I'm going to be talking to you guys about, as you could tell from the title, kind of like the Vegas recap, what went wrong, what happened, my thoughts on the whole thing. I'm going to try to be as concise as possible, and we'll see what happens from there. So we arrived in Vegas on Wednesday. We all flew in together, except Kenny flew in a little bit earlier so he could fly in with his girlfriend Taylor, or Letneck, as many of you know her in the Gears community. And the rest of us all flew in together mid-afternoon Wednesday. Media day was kind of the standard, Thursday, just taking pictures, the hero shots, all the usual stuff that they have us do. And sorry, I have a dog now, so getting used to the noises she makes is the whole thing. So yeah, Thursday media day, pretty normal. Vibes were good. We were confident going into the event. We had won the playoffs pretty convincingly for the league that Deluxe hosted, and we were just doing well all around. Scrims were going really well. We had a day where we scrimmed only Ghost 5 maps or 6 maps, and we 5-0'd them. Just scrims in general were just going really well. We were playing well. We were playing only the top teams, like Ghost, Echo Fox, United, Rise occasionally. We scrimmed Ronin once. So we're trying to stick to just like the upper echelon of scrims and be as prepared as possible for the event. I was working really hard to make sure that we were just constantly focusing on something to improve. Attitudes were hit or miss towards scrims, but overall it felt like we were working towards something and it felt good. So Friday comes up and we have a relatively easy pool, at least in our minds. We weren't really taking either of the teams super, like, they weren't United, they weren't Ghost, they weren't Echo Fox, they weren't even like any of the top teams. It was like the last seed in pool play for NA, which was Motivate, DeFazio, Soto, Pell, and so not a bad team by any means, just not a team that we were feeling threatened by. And then Fable Latin America, which we didn't know much about other than they were just a bunch of high-pointed players, so they got play. Our first match was against the Fable team. Absolutely destroyed them. I had done some scouting on Thursday night, so like I knew what maps they would most likely pick. We were prepared, and it was a pretty one-sided. It was 7-2, 7-1, I believe, as the map scores. And just really one-sided, so we were feeling confident. And same stuff for Motivate. I felt prepared. I had notes on them, what they were going to do, things they like to run. And so we get into this match, and this is kind of the first match that showed that this weekend was going to be different. Motivate is a team that normally we would have no problem playing, especially in the maps that we played. So first map we played Lift, which is one of our comfortable maps, and I had scouted them specifically on that map. I had notes on them for that map, and I had gotten a chance to watch them play the Latin American team from Fable on that map. So I felt confident that we would do well, and it was really back and forth. We weren't playing our game. Our communication was kind of all over the place, and then we got an advantage. I think it was like 5-4 or 6-4 or maybe 5-5, something like that, where we had a lead, and they put a boom shot down. And there was a reset of the map because like the game crashed. So we had to like reset and trade rounds back and forth, for those of you who remember that going on main stage on Friday night. So we had to trade rounds back and forth to get it back up to par, and then they cut the stream back in. So there was a little bit of downtime, and it did hurt our momentum. But at the same time, we should have been super confident playing against them, so we shouldn't have had to rely on momentum, I guess. And what ended up happening is they put a boom shot down, and in my notebook, I would show it to you, but I'm too lazy to get up and walk over to my backpack. In my notebook, I wrote down, actually, you know what, screw that, I am going to show you. All right, so this is the notebook that I took with me to the event, a little black notebook. I got it from our partnerships team. And I've been using it to take notes. So you can see like Fable Latin America, I had notes for. So here's Motivate, right? Here's my page for Motivate. I write down the roster, what their autoban is, what some like pick and ban situations could be, almost like draft for League of Legends, and then some side notes. And my last side note says, Heza likes to quick pick boom on lift. And that's for me, because it's my notes and I'm reading it to the team, I knew is when they put boom on E on lift, they go for a quick pick. He likes to dodge the smokes and then quick pick it. And I can show you, it's wrote down, right. Heza likes to quick pick boom on lift. So it was something that I was fully aware that they would do. And sure enough, they put a boom shot down and I told my team, watch for the quick pick. And 2 to 3 rounds in a row, whatever they needed to win, they did exactly that. They quick picked the boom shot like in our faces, and we did nothing. We weren't reacting. We weren't being aggressive. We were playing scared, like we didn't want to lose. And I was worried. I was worried that was kind of the first sign of like, okay, where's OpTic Gaming, right? So we go into Foundation, and then Foundation, honestly, we should have lost. We should have gotten 2-0'd by Motivate, in my honest opinion. We got lucky that we were able to come back on Foundation. There was a round where they had boom shot. They were 3-capping. Boom shot was on our home, and Kenny like ate a boom with spawn protection. And then we managed to get kills and break control of our home and get back into the round and win the round. And we barely won. We won tiebreaker round 13. We had lost tiebreaker round 13 on lift. So like 2 round 13s in a row, and we probably shouldn't have got. We should have gotten 2-0'd after we lost lift. We shouldn't have lost lift to begin with. So then we go to Reclaimed, which was tiebreaker, and absolutely destroyed them. We played Reclaimed really well. We were winning all the fights, and it looked like we were communicating well. Players were hitting shots, like everything was going well, and we looked really good on Reclaimed. And I said, okay, we got our wake-up call. We're back in it. We've had this kind of rough spree from Dallas where we lost to Allegiance. If you remember, in pool play, we got 2-0'd by them. Mexico was rough. We were struggling, like we shouldn't have been struggling, but we were struggling in pool play there. Not struggling, but just like making it closer than it should have been. We weren't trying. So, okay, we've had our wake-up call. So that means Saturday, first round we play Fable, first we play the open bracket team, which was Scuf Gaming, I think that's what they're called. A Dynamic Jedi and a bunch of people you've probably run into in a pub match. We played them and absolutely destroyed them. They were good players. It's just like we had better teamwork, and I think one map was kind of like 7-4, maybe Foundation or something like that. I don't remember the exact scores. I just remember feeling confident. It wasn't like a very close series. So we finished that one out, and that makes us 3-0 in pool. We're feeling good, and I'm thinking, okay, like we're gonna come back strong. Like now the easy match is over. We'll start trying harder. So our first match is against Fable EU, which, if you guys remember, is the team that obliterated us on Dams, which was the second map in Mexico. This was like the big story, and then they knocked out Echo Fox and took top 4. So like they were a big deal. We couldn't take them lightly, and we had to play serious. And they beat us. We first map was Reclaimed, and we got the 6-6 again somehow, and we had 2 hills, both home hills. And we had boom shot on their home hill along with 2 other people. Alex was kind of floating near like E/ our second half home, and Billy was coming off spawn. He grabbed our hammer burst, and they all rotated back from E and collapsed on their home hill without any communication or callouts. Plus a boom shot hit the floor with an active next to somebody who had been lancered and didn't kill them, which like that was a point where the game kind of screwed us over. And we lost control from there. They killed us on their home hill, and it was round 13. It's 22-second respawns. So from there, we went into the second map, Dam, and they just stomped us. It wasn't even like morale was so broke and busted, and they were just doing the same thing they had done before, where they were running at us, that it didn't even matter like what we did. And after the map, there was some kind of internal issues because like players were complaining about the maps that we picked. So usually Kenny and I do the draft, and if we need to, we ask the teammates' opinions. But I do the scouting, and Kenny knows a lot about other teams. So like our combined kind of minds, we know what team maps we play well. We know what maps we don't play as well. And we know what, the other team, same thing for the other team, right? So we do a pretty good job. And like I said, I do mock-up drafts in my notebook, usually before the match. And so we had complaints about like, why did we pick Reclaimed? And they had banned Foundation against us, I believe. So like we couldn't pick Foundation, which was the map that we were doing really well on for the event. And why didn't we pick Lift and things like that? So it kind of was annoying to hear that, honestly, but we powered through it. Our first losers bracket match we had to wait for a little bit, and it was the team from Australia, so it was Mind Freak. And this is where I knew there would be issues. So before Mind Freak, we went outside, we grouped up, and we had a team talk. And kind of hashed it all out, what we needed to do going forward, and it was a really productive talk. I think it went really well. I think everyone had the right mindset. We sit down to play Mind Freak, and I think the same thing clicked in where it's like, oh, it's Mind Freak. They don't even play the game right. We can beat them with our eyes closed kind of mentalities. And they were putting up a fight against us on Foundation. Like they were trading rounds. I think we won like 7-5 or 7-4, but it was like way closer and way more stressful than it had to be. I don't remember what second map was. We won second map pretty convincingly, I think, like 7-2 maybe. But it was just really weird that was kind of what the vibes were. We had kind of a talk in DMs later that night, and we went on to Sunday confident. I gave a kind of like a motivational like paragraph wall of text saying like, you know, this is where we prove we're champions, this is where we prove we're the best team and ever, this is where we see motivational stuff that a coach should say. We go into Sunday, we know that we have like the gauntlet of gauntlets for Gears of War. We have to play United, and if we win that, we have to play Echo Fox, assuming that they win their side. And which actually no, we knew we had to play Echo Fox, and if we win that, we have to play the winner of the other side of losers bracket, which was probably going to be Rise or Ronin. And then if we won that, we had to play the loser of the grand finals, which ended up being Ghost versus Fable. So we had to play one of those two teams, and then if we won that, we had to win back-to-back series against the person coming out of winners bracket, so Ghost or Fable. So we had a hell of a gauntlet, like 7 matches or 7 series that we had, 7 best of 3s that we had to win in order to win the tournament. And I felt like we were ready. So we go into Sunday, we sit down against United, it's 10 a.m., and we fire on all cylinders right from the start, and we completely take control of that series and wipe the floor with United. So they get knocked out, they're 7th or 8th place. And immediately they keep us going into Echo Fox. They kept us on main stage, thankfully. And same thing against Echo Fox. We started off firing really well. We played the first map really well. We went to second map and we lost, but it was an easy loss to shake off. And we moved into third map and played really well and won that one. Laundry machine. So United down 7th or 8th, Echo Fox down 5th through 6th. So then we have to play the winner of Rise and Ronin, who are having like a crazy intense series, and we're thinking, okay, we can beat most either of those teams pretty convincingly. We've done it before. We did lose the 2K to Rise, but that was kind of a fluke on our part. I think we weren't playing well and they were playing well. So if we play our game, we play how we've been playing, we should be okay. Plus, they're going to be tired coming off that series. Ronin ends up winning. We sit down to play them, and that's kind of where I realized that our current map pool is just screwed. Because for that series, their auto ban is Foundation, which is one of our best maps. We ban Harbor, but then they're kind of good on the other maps. Like they prefer the maps that we normally prefer as well. So there's no way for us to like pick ones that we like that they don't, because that's just how it worked. And they practice Impact where our team hasn't been practicing Impact that much, contrary to what I've been telling us, like and suggesting during scrims. We just haven't played it that much, maybe once or twice. So we didn't have the right practice on Impact. We had lost Lift earlier in the tournament. We lost Reclaimed. And Damn we were getting destroyed on. And Forge we hadn't done well on yet. We banned Harbor and they banned Foundation. So like we really had nothing. So we did the best we could. We picked, based on like the complaints from earlier when we had picked Reclaimed, we went with Damn first map, because we felt like we could fix the stuff and we could just win the fights. and we went with, and Dam's very hit or miss with us. So if we fire on all cylinders like we had been, we'd be fine. And I think we just beat Echo Fox on Dam. So Dam, and then they picked Forge, and I don't remember what tiebreaker was, Reclaimed or something. Maybe Lift, I don't know. So we sit down on Dam, and just immediately I can see that Ronin is just like doing work. Like they're playing really, really well. That's going to be a problem. And we're not hitting shots, and because of that, our communication starts getting flustered, and they're getting more hype, and we're struggling. And it was almost like the team left themselves on main stage and then kind of like waddled over to this side station match and weren't fully there. Like the players that I have are on main stage waiting, and these guys are just imposters. That's what it felt like. Damn, we were just getting slapped around all over the map. There was not much that we could do. It was just, we were losing fights. It's what it came down to. We were losing fights, and then if we did somehow manage to win a fight because somebody clutched up, or we somehow got control of the round, we let them break our setup so easily and so uncharacteristic of us that it was just such like a wind out of your sail situation. And it was like they were telecasting like what they were going to do, how they were going to make their pushes, and we just did nothing to react. And it was so frustrating to watch because I'm calling it out as a coach, and then I'm not sure if I'm calling out too much or too little because our comms were really weird, and we weren't like, we didn't have the right leadership in that series. It was just weird. It wasn't us. So we tried to shake it off for going into the second map. We got slapped, and we tried to shake it off going into the second map for Forge. And you know, this is tournament life on the line, like do or die, literally. And a same thing happens where like our players who had been playing, like Icy had been playing phenomenally, like the majority of the event, and especially on Sunday, just playing out of his absolute mind. And we have him on home hills on Forge. That's the spot that he plays. So we're losing the fights up top, or we're losing the fights in mid, or we're losing both, and he's left alone. So it crumbled really fast. We couldn't get momentum, and we lost. And it sucked. It really sucked. I haven't felt that hopeless, even in, I guess since Mexico, I haven't felt that hopeless. It was just like, and I mean Mexico of season 1, it just felt so wrong. So a lot of people have asked me, like, are you guys going to make roster changes? Are we going to see any differences? What's going on? The guys played separately in the 2K. Icy didn't play it. Kenny played with a pickup team. And then Gilbert, Alex, and Mental, or Billy, played with Praised and Zovios and won. No, we're not making any roster changes. We had a long talk. We split off after we lost. We kind of came back together and talked some, and then we split off again when we came home. We did have some issues. I'm not gonna like sugarcoat it. We did have some things that we needed to kind of hash out and get out there and open to resolve. We had a kind of a team meeting that I called for that was mandatory, and basically wanted everyone to voice their opinions on things, and make sure that we knew going forward what the situation was going to be, because a lot of people were unhappy with like how other people's mindsets were going into the event during scrims and whatnot, and myself included. I was unhappy. So and I'm kind of in a situation where I have, you know, my work with OpTic and then coaching as well, and I want to do both, but I'm so exhausted and tired that I don't want to be getting online to waste time, or going to the office for scrims to waste time, because people don't want to take it seriously. And then the result is that we end up losing. And this has been a thing that's been coming, right? Dallas, we lost to Allegiance, and that required that to wake us up. Mexico, we honestly got lucky against Fable and Ghost, and then this one was the worst one ever. We lost. We got our worst placement. This is the worst placement of my professional career. I've never placed outside top 2. Even when I subbed in for the team back in UE, we took second. So it's such a huge blow, and I tried to keep positive, and then I came home and I got really emo for a little bit. It sucks, man. Losing absolutely sucks. And yes, but we're not making any changes. We're not doing anything different in terms of roster. What we are going to be doing differently is making sure that our attitudes and our mindsets going forward are the right mindsets. that we're dropping the egos and that we're not wasting time and we're not just being cocky assholes, because that's kind of what we've been. And I don't want to say everyone's been that way. There have been players who have been working really hard, and I'm deliberately not saying names for either side, just because you guys are passionate and I don't want you guys like lashing out at players. But I mean, this was the worst event for some players that they've had in their careers, and in terms of performance, this was the best for some. And we know what we need to do going forward. It's just a matter of making sure that mindsets are there to do so. So yeah, that's kind of the recap video. Next event is July 13th through 15th. We have 2 months to kind of get our shit together, and we plan to do so. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you leave a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe. I don't know if you guys saw, but I'm uploading 3 days a week: Monday, Wednesday, and sometime on the weekend, like Saturday, I think. So make sure you subscribe, have notifications on for that. If it's going well, I'll increase it, maybe add another day and see if I can just balance it out. And maybe I'll do a video kind of about like what's going on with OpTic, the behind the scenes, and give you guys a look on everything that's going on. If you guys like it, if you guys hit the like button enough, we'll do something like that, because I'm sure a lot of you guys are curious. But thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next video.